Today, we're diving into a short story that's a really powerful case study of societal pressure. It follows a man named Roshan, and it forces us to confront the devastating events that lead to his tragic end.
The story kicks off with this one single sentence. And wow, it tells you everything you need to know. It perfectly captures the belief at the heart of this whole story that marriage isn't a partnership but a tool, a quick fix for life's problems.
And that really sets the stage for our first section here. The author starts by digging into why marriages are arranged in this world. And let me tell you, the reasons are rarely about love.
I mean, just look at these justifications. Marriage is used to discipline a son, to beat a daughter's biological clock, to fulfill a father's duty, and even to correct a bad horoscope. It's treated as a solution for pretty much everything, except, for building a genuine life together.
So here's the crucial point the author is making. Society is so invested in making sure the marriage happens, but then it's completely absent when the couple faces the real, practical problems that always come later. It mandates the union, and then it just walks away.
So, let's see how this plays out for our main characters, Roshan and his wife Roshni. We're about to see the incredibly fragile foundation their marriage was built on.
Roshan actually hesitates. He says he wants to be financially stable before he gets married, but his parents just override him with promises. They'll set him up with a shop, they'll be there to support them, so the marriage goes ahead, based not on his readiness, but on an assurance.
And just like that, the assurance completely evaporates. In the first year, they're married and have a child, but in the second year, the two pillars of their support system, both of their fathers, are gone within the span of a single month. Their entire safety net just vanishes.
With his support gone and his grocery store failing, Roshan is unable to provide for his family. And this is where that same society, the one that pushed him into this life, returns. Not with help, but with judgment.
This is what the local miller says about Roshan, loud enough for others to hear. It's a cruel, public shaming that really becomes the voice of the entire community. He's no longer seen as a man who is struggling, but just as a burden.
The story highlights this hypocrisy perfectly. The very same act, eating, is viewed through two completely different lenses. If a successful man enjoys his food, he's a connoisseur, but when an unemployed man like Roshan eats, he's a glutton. His worthlessness defines every single action he takes.
At the core of this judgment is this unwritten social rule. A man earning while his wife stays home, that's normal. But when Roshni works and Roshan stays home, it's considered an outrage. It's a violation of the established order, and Roshan is the one who pays the price in shame.
This constant judgment, combined with his wife's growing resentment, completely erodes Roshan's spirit. He starts to withdraw, first from relatives, then from neighbors, and finally from within his own home. He basically becomes a ghost in his own life.
And all of this leads us to the story's climax, the final night, where Roshan's isolation becomes absolute.
After his wife and daughter finish their dinner at the table, he goes to the kitchen. All that's left for him are the last two stale rotis at the bottom of the container, stuck to the cloth. He eats them alone, a final meal that symbolizes his complete and utter neglect.
In a final, desperate attempt to connect, he goes to Roshni's room. He just wants to talk, but her response is immediate and brutal. She slams the door shut, right in his face.
And then there's this small voice of hope. His daughter calls out from inside, defending him. But this hope is instantly extinguished by the sharp sound of a slap. And that sound, it signifies the end of everything. In that moment, Roshan feels no anger, only a quiet resignation. He believes he has committed society's greatest crime, failing to be a provider. And in his mind, the death sentence has already been passed. He's just the one who has to carry it out.
But the story doesn't end with his death. It ends with the aftermath, and a profound question aimed directly at the reader.
The morning brings a cold, procedural aftermath. The police arrive. The two sides of the family sit separately, angry and divided. And in a final, tragic image, it's his young daughter who is forced to perform the last rites. And this is the last line of the story. Roshan's final act is framed not as a statement, but as a question. He took his own life, but the story forces us to ask, was he the only one responsible?
What makes this story even more compelling is that its author, Rajesh Vishwakarma, is a physics teacher. He uses this narrative to dissect the invisible forces of society with the same precision he might use on the laws of nature, leaving us with a question that challenges the very structure of community and responsibility.